What's up everyone? Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Today we're taking a look at Vechain and its recent price action, and make sure to watch the video till the end for a price prediction for the short and the long term as well. First things first, please smash the likes, subscribe and hit the bell icon. YouTube is not pushing crypto content out currently and our subscribers aren't getting notifications, so make sure to join our free Telegram to stay up to date with all of our videos as they are posted, links in the description. It really helps if you hit the like. We're posting 4 videos per day, so come back every day for daily updates and analysis. And make sure to comment down below for your chance to win a hardware wallet in our new monthly giveaway. We'd also like to thank you all so much for your support. We've just hit 10k subscribers, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. What's up guys, so just before we begin, we've had many reports that our subscribers aren't seeing our content, and this is most likely because you haven't hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon with all notifications turned on. Give it a tap now, turn on all notifications, and you'll most likely see most of our videos being posted. Also, if you want to support the channel, make sure to tap that like, it really helps us out. We're posting 4 videos per day, so make sure to check back every single day for daily updates. So we're just taking a look at Vechain here, doing another daily update, and as you can see, obviously we have basically been in a little uptrend actually for Vechain. I'm cautiously optimistic that it does look as though we are potentially starting to see something like this, where we may be starting to wick down less and less as time goes on. Basically looking at something like this where, you know, everyone's saying that we're going to zero, we're in a downtrend, and obviously we are in a downtrend, but we are seeing some signs of life for Vechain, which we would like to continue to reiterate. Which is the fact that on our daily time frame here, you can see quite clearly that we have essentially just been inside of this descending wedge for some time, haven't we? We've basically been trading downwards and downwards inside of it, but it does look as though we have actually broken out of it now. And we have retested its support here multiple times. We're finding support on the top of this resistance. We're not falling back inside the channel. And I mean, this is really bullish in my opinion, because this is a key level. This has been going on for, you know, months and months now. We basically formed the bottom of this maybe in April, and then the top of it at the start of May, just before we had the big correction, and this is down from 25 cents. We're now at around 7 cents here. And you know, when you see breakouts of these kinds of patterns, you go back to where you formed them eventually, which is this all-time high. So it does look as though I'm cautiously optimistic with Vechain looking at this chart, because all it's telling me here, it's telling me that story, you know, as Coins Kid would say. The chart's telling me a story, and the story is that we've been under the cosh for a while here, basically rolling over, and then we've broken out of this resistance here, and we found support on the outside of the resistance. We flipped the resistance into support. So in my opinion, this is quite bullish, and it does look as though we are potentially here starting to see ourselves making higher lows on these big corrections that we do have to the downside. So it does look as though the market is potentially here starting to get quite bullish, dare I say it. Obviously, there's a lot of confluence to the fact here that we are starting to see some strength for Vechain, and it does look as though Bitcoin is showing strength as well. The stochastic RSI, the MACD, there's a big bullish divergence on the daily time frame. The whales are accumulating. There's countries that are adopting Bitcoin. So there's quite a lot going on right now to suggest that we shouldn't really be in this big corrective phase that we are. There's a lot of fear in the market right now, seemingly for no real reason. There's obviously a lot of FUD out there, China banning Bitcoin for the millionth time. But really, nothing has changed. The fundamentals of the project are still great. It's just the sentiment in the market. And a lot of people are scared right now because of the huge drop that we saw. But honestly, one green candle of like $5,000 or $10,000 for Bitcoin in a few days, or one day, is obviously going to send the market back into the stratosphere, and the sentiment in the market could change literally like that. So currently we are seeing, you know, the continuation and rollover of the market in general. But we are starting to see little signs that we are basically starting to see a bit more strength in the market, as we're seeing here with Vechain. So it looks as though Vechain on our daily time frame here has actually, it's come up, hasn't it? It's broke out this resistance, but it's stuck under the 20 EMA here. So we are rolling over under the EMA here. And we could potentially be looking at bouncing off this little trend line that I've outlined here, that we have touched here and here. If we do come down and touch this again, we could potentially see a nice little bounce to the upside again, but we do need to see ourselves starting to break these EMAs. But as we said, the more that we get oversold, and the more that we do continue selling off, because we are in a bull market still, the more and more likely it is that we are going to see that big reversal, because the bears, you know, the bears are having their day right now, aren't they? They're getting really greedy. They're trying to push the price down to like 1 cent or something ridiculous down here. And it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I mean, considering everything that we've seen, it doesn't even look like Vechain has actually done that badly. Okay, it's dropped from, what was it, 28 cents all the way down to 7 cents right now, 75% drop. That's obviously a massive deal, right? But we're not seeing like the crazy capitulation that most people are calling for here. Bitcoin's halved in value pretty much. And most altcoins are down 75% because they obviously get crushed far more than Bitcoin does in terms of drops. But pretty clear here that, you know, we're in an uptrend, aren't we? We just take a quick zoom out and look at the macro perspective for a second. And we can see that we're in an uptrend here. Pretty obvious. We've obviously, you know, been making highs and lows inside this channel. We're now coming back down close to the bottom of this channel. We could see that little pickup and, you know, moving up for another 5th wave. I mean, we're not seeing anything to suggest here that anything's out of the ordinary. Obviously, crypto is extremely volatile. Things happen all the time in cryptocurrency. There's big corrections and volatility. Vechain's down 75% right now. Everyone's calling for a bear market. But, you know, we're having this big correction right now, but there's no evidence to suggest that we're actually in a bear market so far. Obviously, everyone's saying, oh, when Bitcoin drops more than 40%, it's always been a bear market. And that's not necessarily the case if you look at the 2013 bull run, where we did have a similar, you know, big consolidation period of a few months in between before we started to pick up again. It was around 4 or 5 months, I think, the corrective period that we did see before things started to blast off again. So we're basically trying to keep everyone level-headed right now and give everyone a sense of perspective, because it's clear that everyone is really frightened right now, and basically a lot of people are scared that the market is going to collapse and they're going to lose all their money, which is a fair fear to have, we would say. But I mean, we're not seeing any signs of the bear market right now. We're in an uptrend. We're inside of this channel that we have been trading inside of ever since the March crash here. We're making headway. We haven't even come back down and tested the channel yet. And we're currently, you know, holding support on our 55 EMA here. We haven't even broken down below the 55 yet. If we start breaking out of this channel to the downside here with any significant vigor, and we start to see, you know, a big sell-off like this and getting well down below our 55, and then retesting it as resistance like this and basically bouncing off it and going lower, and then we get that death cross with our 20 EMA flipping the 55 on the weekly time frame, so we basically see something like this, then yeah, we could, you know, we definitely start to look at the idea that we're in a bear market. But we're not seeing that right now. We're holding support. We're still in an uptrend. It's pretty obvious that we're in an uptrend here, and until we see otherwise, then we're not going to tell people that we're in a bear market, however much they, you know, people screaming on Twitter, we're in a bear market, everything's going to zero, sell your bags and leave. No point doing videos about cryptos because everything's going to zero, etc, etc. You know, you get the nonsense every single day, don't you? But we will be here and we will continue to make videos no matter what happens, and we will keep telling you what we see. And right now what we're seeing is Vechain is in an uptrend. Obviously, over the past few weeks, over the past few months, we've been in a downtrend, but we're still in an uptrend on a macro timescale, and that's all that matters really. Any savvy investors are looking at holding Vechain for a long time because they can see the long-term potential. The fundamentals are really strong, and obviously the potential gains are very nice. Like, I mean, you could have just bought Vechain here right at the bottom of this dip and you would still be up a massive amount. What is this? Almost 5,000% in a year and a half. So it's pretty obvious that the potential is there, and it is massive in cryptocurrency. And those that essentially hold their bags for a longer time, they do tend to get rewarded. As we keep saying to you, we basically, we do strongly believe that, not financial advice of course, but if you're holding for the long term and you're holding quality projects, you're probably going to do very, very, very well. So we'll just take a quick look at the hourly time frame here for a few short-term price predictions. As we said, it does look as though we are holding support here. We basically flip this resistance into support, as you can see. So we could come back down here, test this, maybe even adhere to this little trend that we have outlined here, although this isn't concrete. It's just more of a hypothesis more than anything. But it does, you know, you can see here that we're making these higher lows, aren't we? So if we came down here and tested this again, or came down and tested this along with this resistance, this previous resistance flipped into support, and we just picked up like this and picked up and started to go to the upside, we could be looking at some very, very nice upside for Vechain if we do get a little bounce here. And obviously with making higher lows like this, this is generally, you know, we're starting to see a pickup in the market, which would be good to see. So, but obviously, if Bitcoin does continue to roll and retest the low 30k, the low 30k region again, like $30,000 itself, for example, we could be looking at, you know, coming back down to this level here, this 6 cents or maybe even 5 cents, depending on how severe it is. But obviously, if Bitcoin starts to pick up, as the market is led by Bitcoin currently, then we could be looking at potentially 8 cents, maybe even this 8.5, 9 cent area, if we do get a nice little bounce and a pickup. So nothing to be too concerned about with Vechain from what we can tell. And as we said, over the longer period, we do think that Vechain is probably going to hit $1 by the end of this bull run, which we're still in, by the way. We've got this A, B, C, D, and then this fifth wave where we really get that big blow off top for the market, where we could be getting well over $1 into our Fibonacci extensions here, this 161. And then maybe even up into this region here at the top of this channel, you know, going in towards the end of the year, maybe like $1.5, $2, maybe even $3. So that's our update today, guys. We'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please let us know down in the comments section below. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can keep up to date with all of our videos. Remember to comment down below and be subscribed to enter into our brand new monthly giveaway for a hardware wallet. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, please sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, or sign up to YouTube membership by hitting the join button right next to the sub below this video, where you can get access to our private Discord. We're offering coin calls, one-to-one access to us personally, insight into our personal portfolio, daily research of crypto assets with massive potential, and access to our brand new 100x portfolio. With so many benefits, you might as well check it out below. Don't forget to get 2 free stocks with Webull by signing up and then depositing $100 using our link in the description below. You can quite literally deposit the $100, get your 2 free stocks, and then withdraw the money. So there's no reason not to do that, and they could be valued all the way up to $1,600 each. But don't forget to actually deposit as well after signing up, otherwise you won't receive the second stock. Scammers get worse every day, so make sure to protect yourself and your crypto online with PureVPN. Sign up below for some big discounts. You can get access to block content and protect yourself from phishing scams with super low monthly payments and high quality speeds. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto, so go check them all out below. There's plenty of goodness on offer. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.